Okay guys, I'm back for my second video, no, third video. This is my third video today. I'm just going to I was going to go through a couple things really quick that I've been working on. I know I haven't done a video in a while, but I have been crafting and I've done quite a few different things. So I was just going to run through them really quick. Hopefully I'll be able to get through it in one video. The first things I'm going to show you are a few cards, and this one is like a steampunk card, and it says, "True friendship is seen through the heart, not through the eyes." And then, I don't know, let's see if this is going to work. This is popped up with dimensionals, so there's like 3 or 4 different levels, so it's like, it's pretty, there you go, see, pretty up there, it's pretty high. So, there's that, and I don't know, there you go. So there's that, and then I did another one, and there you go. This one says, thank you for being such a wonderful friend." And then you can kind of see where it's like right there and all. That is actually Distress Crackle paint. It's the rock candy. I did that. You can't, it's hard to kind of see on here, but it looks like clouds. Like it started to crack and then it turned slightly lighter, so it looks like clouds, and then so it looks like he's kind of floating across the sky. It's kind of cool. I like it. And this one's also dimensional. So, and then I did a Valentine's Day one, and there you go. And again, I used these are Tim Holtz stamps. They're the foam ones, I think. And it says, when I want to see love defined, I look at you. So, and there's, maybe you can be able to see it, maybe not. There you go. And then it just kind of opens up like this. So, anyway, so there's that one. And then I also did some tags. Here's this one. And they both have the dress forms on them, the Tim Holtz. I think it's called Sewing Room. So there's the first one, and I just used some stickles and a Cuttlebug die, some flowers I cut to use for the skirt, some Tim Holtz stamps on the background of the the die cut. Also I used Lindy stamping, and then you can't really see, but there's writing behind here, right here, and that is, I distressed the tag, then I stamped it with I used a distress pad. I cannot remember what color it was either, and some writing that is from one of Tim Holtz stamp sets, and I stamped it. And then after I did that, then I went in and I used my Cuttlebug and I just embossed it. And then I ran an ink pad, StazOn black pad over top of the embossing so that it would show up. And then I used stickles and just kind of, highlighted around it. So there's that one. And then I did another one. Here's the other tag. And again, I use Distress inks. As a matter of fact, you know what, come to think of it, I think almost everything on here is, I mean, except for like this and this, but this is actually a Tim Holtz tag. And then I use Tim Holtz Distress inks. I use Tim Holtz Mass, Tim Holtz die, Tim Holtz stamps, and then also I use the glassine. So, and I use Lindy stamping and Distress inks. So, but there's that one. It says Dream Wish Love. Oh, and I also used, I'm so excited, I used my tiny attacher for the first time. That was a lot of fun. I like the way it works. So, but there's that. I guess they're not really dress forms, they're tags, but I really like them. So, I also, my friend Frances sent me these balsa boxes a long time ago, and everybody knows what they look like. See, you get them at Michael's for like $1. But at the time, my Michael's didn't have any, so she sent me like 4 of them, and I hadn't really done anything with them. So I went ahead and altered them Here's the first. I did one of each. So here's the first one. And I used the Graphic 45, what's it called? Steampunk. Hello. But this is like my favorite. I love this paper. So, and then I just used this is the same knob that came on it. Oh, you can't see. There we go. This is the same knob that came on it. And what I did was I just took some of the Tim Holtz gears and I glossy accented them to the top. And this is 2 different sizes. And then I used just a little rhinestone. And this is, I just glued them to the top of the thing. And the original, oh gosh, this came on there originally. This is what was originally closing it, and it just worked with what I was doing, so I just left it on there. And then on the sides of it, I used Tim Holtz gears and some more little gems on both sides. So there's that one. And then, oh, and I used some really pretty lace that I had. And then I did the other size, and this one I went in a completely different direction. I stained the whole box with Lindy Stamp Gang, and I cannot remember. I think it's Midnight Rendezvous or something. I can't remember, but or maybe it's like the blue jean one. I'd have to look, but it's Lindy Stamp Gang, and I know it's one of their newer colors. And then the paper that I used is October Afternoon, and again I cannot remember what the name of the pad is without actually digging it out and looking at it. But I thought this was so cute. There, in this particular set of paper, there's a whole page. Excuse me. There's a whole page that is just like, they look like paper dolls, and you just cut them out. So that's what I did, is I cut them out, and then I put the little apple in her hand. I have to say, that was a pain in the butt to cut out because it was so teeny tiny. And then I just put some dimensionals on it so it like actually sticks up. And then these flowers are from Carla S001, and I just dyed them with Lindy Stamp Gang, and I used my Distress inks to kind of just make them look, you know, shabby or distressed. Then this is from, oh man, I cannot remember where I picked this. Oh, I picked this up at your Scrapbook Supply. This camera is just horrible, guys. I'm really sorry, but I don't know if you can see it or not. No, you can't because it's horrible, but you can see it's like lace. And then I use the same thing on the front. And this, again, I used the knob that came on it. It just, I mean, it already had a hole drilled in it and everything. I just put a big gem on the front, a big blue bling gem. And then I used the same, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? The same lace for the thing, and then I just used brads to hold it on. So, and it kind of fit because I had 2 brads that had little apples on them, and they kind of fit with the horses. So, there you go. There's that one. And then I also did, I have a swap I'm doing, and it's a Valentine's Altered box swap, matchbox swap. So here's my matchbox, and I didn't want it to be just Valentine. Like, I wanted the person that's receiving it, which is a secret, I wanted it to be so that it could be displayed all the time and it wasn't gonna stick out as Valentine's. So what I did was I used oh gosh, the Lost and Found paper, and it's gonna be hard to see because of course my camera sucks, but behind the bird cage right here, which this is a wood Kaisercraft bird cage, and right behind it is a bird, like a sparrow, and it says fly on it. And then I used some chain and I glossy accented it down so it won't move. And then I used, these are Recollection flowers, the little tiny ones, and then this is a Prima flower. And then on the side of the box, which you can't see because the lighting's horrible, there's lace on the side of the box, and then these really pretty, they're like they're pink. I'm not going to get technical with what the color is because I'm not really sure, but I think these came from my friend Frances sent these to me, I think. I'm almost positive. If not, then it came from Carla's S001, but I think these came from Francis. And then the box, on the side of the box, I put, these Prima flowers come with 2 of these flowers, 2 of these little birds, and then 2 butterflies. So, and they're all made out of, like, they're velvet feeling. They're really cool. And they have, like, big chunky glitter around the outsides and bling. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's got a little bit of everything. But there's that one. And then on the other side of the box, it's the same thing, just in a different place. So you would actually, because this side of the box, like, it sticks over, you would actually pull it from this side. And I saw my friend Stephanie from Little Red Wagon Studio, the way she did her box, she actually cut a hole, like, she used a hole punch and cut it right here. I was like, man, that is so awesome. So, and of course, you know, normal people don't think of doing stuff like that. So I just cut the hole. I used a hole punch and cut it right here. So you can just stick your finger there and pull it out. And it's like really easy, super easy to pull it out compared to using doorknobs like I have been. So, but there's that. Oh, and I made the feet. The feet are just 3 pearls and then a really cute little bead. So it's got legs that stands up pretty tall. So there's that. And then to my favorite thing, and I'm actually doing pretty good because I'm only at 11 minutes. So I just finished this. I was Skyping with my friends and with Stephanie Johnson, which is her YouTube is Little Red Wagon Studio, and then my BFFF Francis, and hers is Makeup Addict Forever. So, and we were like chit-chatting and blah blah blah. Well, it kind of just came to me, like, we weren't even talking about storage issues or anything like that. It was just like, they get my creative juices going. We laugh, we cut up, we have a good time. And I had been looking for something to store my foam pads in, which I'm sure you guys know what these are. These are the pads that go on your, here you go. Look, there you go. They go on the blending tools for Tim Holtz. And I mean, short of buying a blending tool for every pad that you have, you're going to have to find somewhere to put these. So, I mean, I have 4 blending tools, and I think that's more than enough. I'm not going to pay like 6 or 7, what is it, like $6 for one of these and 2 pads? Like, that's ridiculous. But these are not, I did have them in one of these, I have a Kaiser Craft, like, box, and it has 9 individual little boxes, and they look like this. That's what they look like. And then you alter the fronts of them, you know, of course it's Kaiser Craft, so they're just plain. And I had them in one of those little drawers, and it's a real pain in the butt to have to dig through there to find the right one. And then you don't even know if you're using the right one for the right color, and then you end up wasting them because you've mixed them all up. It's ridiculous. And I was getting really tired of playing that game. So I've been thinking, and I've been looking online, and most people, the most common thing I think I've seen is people use like the Plano boxes. They're like clear plastic boxes. I call them Plano. You can buy them in the craft store. You can buy them for fishing. Like, you can buy them for anything. But a lot of people use those, and then they just use a P-Touch, and they mark which pad goes to which Distress ink. So I was like, I was going to go buy one, which they're not even expensive, but I was like, I have all of this crafting stuff, and I should be able to figure out how to make something instead of going and wasting more money when I have plenty of stuff here that I can do something with. So, and I've been like, you know, thinking about it. Well, we were talking, and it just like hit me like a ton of bricks while we were chit-chatting. And I was sitting in here as I was listening to the other 2 girls, and they were like playing, you know, talking to each other. And it hit me that I have a whole bunch of these. And of course, if you own a Cricut, you know what this is. This is I think they don't even make them like in these boxes anymore, but these are the old style boxes for your cartridges. And I have a whole bunch of them. And I've seen a lot of women do a lot of different things with these. Like, you can store all kinds of stuff in here. I even saw one lady that uses these extra boxes as like an extra platform on a shelf that she keeps all of her buttons and stuff, and she has like little bottles. So this like elevates the second so she has more than one row, and you can see what's behind each bottle. So, and I was like, man, I have the greatest idea, and it hit me. So this is what I came up with. So here's the box, and I just distressed it. I used Lindy's, and of course you're not going to be able to see it, but I used 3 different color Lindy stamping products on the front. I used some Tim Holtz stamps. These flowers came in a swap. A lady made them for me, and she sent them to me. This is a Tim Holtz, oh my gosh, caged bird, I think is what the die cut is, but I just used the bird. And then the paper was black, and it had black glitter like swirls in it, so I cut it out, and then I used my Lindy's I think it's called Hottie Patati, and I sprayed it like a lot to make it look like pink. And then what I did was I just did the whole box, and I covered it in paper. Oh, there you go. That's what the underneath looks like. And then I painted the sides of the box so that it's black. And then, oh my god, I am so stoked I did this. I'm like, it's so smart. When you open it, check it out, guys. Look at that. I just made like a little grid, and all I did was use my what's it called? Chipboard. And just made like little individual slots for it. And the reason I came up with this is that my friend Julie Walters made a box out of Capri Suns, and the way she did the little inserts, and basically I did these the same way, except for instead of them sitting upright, they're laying down inside the box. And then what I did was, hold on, I'm going to wipe the, what I did was I used my P-Touch, and hold on, let me turn it around so you guys can see. I used my you're not going to be able to see it. There you go. And I labeled everything. So each hole, it goes, this top one right here is this right here, worn lipstick. So it's this one, and it goes this way. And this will hold 20 pads. So, I mean, you can't beat that. How awesome is that? And it didn't cost me anything. It was already stuff I had in my house. Like, I already had these. I mean, what was I going to do with them anyway? I mean, I have so many of them, you know? And this is all product that I already had. I didn't have to go buy anything special. I didn't have to go, you know, pick something up because I didn't have enough to finish it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I used everything in my stash. And it doesn't get any cheaper than that. So, I mean, and this is going to work perfect. They're easy to get out. You just, I mean, there's enough room. You can just stick them in and out. So, I think it's great. And I love it. So, yay! I was so excited. So, there you go, guys. My Distress Foam Pad holder. And it's like super tiny. You could, if you really wanted to, you could set it on a shelf like a book. And just stick it on the shelf. So, I mean, it's awesome. Alright, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Bye.